Hello again, welcome back to another daily Binding of Isaac Repentance. Okay, today is a daily. It's, Eden? Okay. Mom's Heart. Got some good stats here. Yep, today is, yeah, the 25th, I think? 26th? Something like that? Saturday, I know that. Drank some caffeine, some coffee. I drank some coffee last night and then I was having like a little bit of kidney pain or something. I'm assuming I was dehydrated because after I drank some water, it went away. That ain't good. Never had kidney pain before for that. I want to see something here actually. Cause a strain in the kidneys. I mean, I figured that was the case. Duh. More strain if you're dehydrated. So I think I kind of was. Drank the water, it went away almost immediately. So supposedly it says on the medical website, it's like, oh well, it doesn't like cause any kidney failure or cancer or anything like that. And I'm like, I don't know, caffeine can do some weird crap to the body. So I'm gonna say sus. Oh, 1 second here. Let's see here. It is 25th. Okay. Yeah, you probably heard a Facebook message. It kind of is. I mean, I don't use like a personal account anymore, and I once in a blue moon, like use it for like messaging certain people and stuff. I don't really dig deep into Facebook anymore like that. I used to, but I know I talk about other videos. Ooh, yeah, I don't use Facebook. You know what I mean? Technically, I do. Oh, I left that freaking internal hard drive. Whatever. Technically, I do, but not much. So basically, minuscule. Like I'm not going on there posting like statuses and going all crazy and stuff like that. Nothing like that anymore. Because it's a line of quick communication, so to speak, instead of using phone. Of course, it's not like privacy like protected or anything like that, of course. But it's a common enough platform where certain people are using it. That'd be great if I can use it on a different platform with others, but they gotta have to be on board of it. I never got this item unlocked. This feels like okay, so it's a familiar. Does it die if it gets hit like the other thing? I never really interacted with this before. This is like a annoyed loss unlock, I think. Interesting trinket. Does it scale it to your damage? How does this work? Oh, it gives me double bombs too. Interesting. Okay. It's gonna be a catch. The thing has to die or something. Whoa. Oh, there, little sucker. Don't be running off like that. This isn't great. At least it's out of the devil deal pool, I suppose. I'm thinking about making a TikTok video. And I know I talked about before about TikTok and everything, but I have a video idea. It might potentially become viral. I'm not gonna say it or anything, otherwise if I do it and it become viral, then you're gonna know who I am. And all that other stuff. I like to keep my privacy like in check to some degree. People are nuts on the internet. Like damn nuts. Some people, not people in general. You know what I mean. Okay, let's see here. All right, so you don't do that. All right, so let's try an experiment then. Nope. Whatever. I say we take this. We're fine. All right, let's just go to the next floor. I was wanting to see if like maybe it'll consume the trinket, kind of like when you had a blue key with Pandora's box, or consume the blue key and you get like more items. Oh, it's just a freaking. Which I have no problem with the familiar. So it does die, just like the other version, okay. Only you don't get any bonuses when it survives to the next floor. Unless it's random. Well, that's an interesting trinket. I didn't think, like, the thing would survive, because, like, that's kind of powerful with its tears and stuff. Which, by the way, I watched a video recently on YouTube about Pop a Fly item. It scales to your damage. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. This is actually even better than before, man. That's great. Unless it was always like that. I don't think it was. I know with Mongo Baby, I think it only scales to a certain percentage of your damage. But it keeps your, it has the same tears effect though, that's the difference. Is what your tears are, I think. So much like stuff people are discovering with your eyes and everything, it's like crazy. People are experimenting on different things or finding out different things or getting things submitted and then they're doing videos on it. People keep finding stuff even before like Penance came out. Check out this synergy, and then like after the new DLC comes out and they drastically change the game, like with all these patches and nerfs and stuff and buffs, like it's kind of obsolete. I mean, even if you don't get the DLC when you get the updates, you're eventually going to like run into those issues where it's already been fixed. Now, I suppose it'd probably be useful if, I don't know, the wiki still keeps the previous information. Maybe it does. Before patches. I would think they would, for historical purposes, and have people, like, do videos on them for specific patches. I know those things exist. Like with one YouTuber, for example, they, or a few YouTubers, they go through patches of like New Vegas, talk about things that were cut or added or whatever. To look at the various kinds of bugs or cut content or added content. Different builds. Shows you what kind of like stuff was going on and try to speculate why they did that. That's way too much effort for me to do. It'll be worth it? I don't know. If I get a lot of views or something, if I did it consistently and well enough. Let me tell you about the different changes in Isaac. Now, there's already a YouTube video for that. Like, ideas, okay. Ideas that's already, you think, okay, it's gone. Ideas that you think haven't been done. There's like 9 billion people on the planet. Range up. Chances are your idea is like nothing new. And I've done competitions like that. Oh, it's not there. I was in this competition years ago where how to put it in words. So I was in this competition, and you come up with ideas or whatever, just for stuff. And I got onto a team I was made on, and we kind of pitched our idea. So I had a pretty interesting idea, and I think it would have been great to have. And this is probably one of those things you kind of hear about. It's like, oh, this idea was so revolutionary and it's time to talk about, but then it wasn't quite the right time to unveil it. You know what I mean? And I had such a great idea, and at the time, I didn't think of it as something that would be like very beneficial COVID related. And it was like something else. It was, so I pitched an idea. I mean, I might as well just talk about the pitch, because there's not really any news about it or anything anywhere. I just did it. I was pitching an idea of, so I was pitching the idea that, say there's locations like famous landmarks or whatever, tourist locations you can't go to, right? Okay, so there's that you can't go to. Now, you might be wondering, okay, now I'm just kind of blanking here. So I'm trying to remember the idea. So I pitched this idea, it's like, okay, how about a location thing, like a website or whatever, where you can use like VR. Yeah, I should have saved that. Use VR to visit these locations. Even like live concert stuff. Now I know the idea is kind of there, sort of, like the NBA sidelines that cost you money and all this other stuff. But like, only this would be like tourist locations. I did mention, I guess, in my pitch with it'd also be like something where you do like live concert stuff, but then I think that'd be even more complicated now I think about it. But like the main idea was like having locations that would be something that someone wants to visit but they can't quite get there. And I know the VR is kind of like still in early development stuff, and it's not quite like fully there yet with quality and stuff. Like it's there, but it's not there enough. Like it's not well developed enough. And anyways, what happens here is get this kind of a service thing. How you make money off of it, you make licensing deals. Can you make licensing deals with public locations? I don't know how it works. I mean, I didn't get too far into the idea because it was just a pitch and it wasn't like very brainstormed or anything like everybody else's pitch, of course. I like how there was a brief second for that thing to crop up. The void thing. And the whole idea was people who wanted to visit these locations but they can't for various things, like say they're in a nursing home, like old folks, they can't leave. You put like a VR helmet on, which, I mean, it doesn't sound ideal because a lot of these locations probably don't give you those VR options because of how costly it is, and clunky and everything. But like, have it where you can explore these locations. You could also use a computer too and whatever. And just visit these places you can't afford to go to or whatever. Now they've done some stuff like that through Oculus and whatever. But do it as a service and do it like much more broadly instead of like very select locations made by like individual people, not like as a company thing. And make it more fleshed out and more, high quality. That'd be like the difference. That would have been neat. But unfortunately, my pitch wasn't chosen. I didn't really have too many people gravitating to me with that. Like, come on. And it was COVID stuff, and now people are trying to create all this social distancing tech and everything. Now it's like this would have been the perfect time to pitch it. Right. Excuse me. Right in the beginning of the pandemic. Pitch it like right in March or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know much about timing for stuff like that. With like, give it a pitch like that and be like, oh yeah. Because Zoom, it took off like substantially right in the beginning of the pandemic. So I assume pitching it during the beginning of the pandemic. Of course, it's going to be all virtual pitching. Well, no, well, yeah, this thing I was pitching at would have been canceled at the time. So I think it would have been canceled. Or if they didn't cancel it, would have been digitalized, but that would have been so freaking weird to do. What's with my tears rate? Holy Christ. I just realized my tears... Alright, this is like... Maybe that's a good thing I picked up this Devil Deal item. Thank you, tears up. Tears rate's hot garbage. That or is maybe it's my shot speed. Maybe it's my tears and my shot speed. Yeah, pitching things, man, like... Sometimes you gotta pitch... I mean, it's also the performance of the pitch, too, not just, like, what it entails. I could have probably pitched it better, but like I'm not no, marketing expert or anything like that. How I can present it and stuff. Whatever. You're dead. That's what matters. Because I know with ideas that gets pitched, from my experience with the team, there's a commonality of issues that can happen. Like one of the things I've noticed was trying to make your project too broad, too like big and everything. You're adding so much stuff in there, it's mostly useless. You try to make it look as fancy as you can, but there's going to be so much stuff. Like, people are not going to do it. Or user service, or buy whatever, or stuff like that. Oh yeah, we had this and this and this, Like when I was doing, when I was in a group for designing games. Yeah, I know. Like, I didn't have much experience with it. Like, I didn't know much about coding. I didn't know much about, like, anything like that. Just, like, story-driven, like, writing. Like, that was, like, the most gifted I am out of that. Maybe some art. I mean, I'm pretty gifted. Well, not gifted. I would say, like, I'm pretty decent with art and stuff. Not gifted, but... I'm very creative with words, I guess. That's what I was trying to say. More creative with words. Because I had more practice with it, I guess. And I don't know if I talked about it in other videos or not about this, but like when I was in that group kind of thing. Problem is there was just too many of us in the group that just coming up with all these different inspirational ideas and everything. We just kept hashing at different things. But we didn't have any programmers, we didn't have any 3D designers, we didn't have any of that. So the project just like basically stood in the standstill. So I don't even know how you initiate anything like that. I can come up with all these ideas, but I had no way to put it into practice, especially for a game. don't know how development works with that. I mean, I didn't really look up anything how to do it. Well, I decided to just kind of leave the development team because nothing was getting done. By the time I came back months later, like, they were all gone. Like, they didn't. Like, the funny thing is, we had our email contacts and stuff like that, and nobody emailed me. It's like, hey, where are you? You know, what are you doing? Da da da. You know what I mean? Check it on me. It's just silence. So not even the follow-ups were like coordinated either. I didn't put too much effort into it, so at least there's that. Because if I did, that would have been a waste of energy, I suppose. We had kind of an ambitious idea, but then we just didn't have a way to like organize everything together properly and find the right people. Even if we tried finding people, like a lot of them wasn't really interested anyways. The pitch. A separate thing, I was in a board like setting, and I pitched an idea which nobody really talked about. It was like replacing all of these things in a building, all these clocks and stuff like that, because they were all analog clocks, right? And it ran on this old master system, and it was like dated back in the 70s or something. And the biggest problem was different parts of the building, both like in like the main hallways and then also like in the smaller rooms, the clocks were all different. And so like there was even extreme issues with like people trying to use clocks and their setting to, that fly got him. In their setting, in their rooms, to pretend it's this time, going off that clock, even though it's like 10 or 20 minutes slower, and causing issues with like, you know, people trying to go to these other buildings for other meetings. And so like, I know because I was there for the meeting stuff. And so like, I was like, you know what? I had an idea. I kind of pitched it to them as like, I want to research about replacing all these clocks in this place, in this building, and a series of buildings attached to them, and get something that where it's like modern, that it actually works, that there isn't any problems. So they gave me the okay to go and research that. Okay, that's nice. And so I did some research and I picked out the clocks, the master system that looks the best. I thought about maybe, well, they showcasing to me like, what do you call it? Like an analog clock thing. Not an analog clock, but there's some stuff that was like just large numbers, is like military time or regular time. It was just numbers. But I preferred like something with a clock face. That's going to be something that's going to be more universal and a lot easier to people to like, you know, notice the time, plus you could do decorative stuff on it. And so I picked that design. And then what's cool too, it's like the old clocks that were in this building. They get a discount with the clocks by recycling the old ones. So they get a little bit of a return back to the old system. And the master system cost about $5,000 alone, and then like the clocks, quite a bit. So it was like over 10 grand. Doesn't sound too bad for the price though. Plus you get a return on there a little bit, so get a little bit less of a price cost. And so the whole idea was like, they replace the clocks they're already having issues with, and as the time goes along, they'll keep replacing each of the clocks until they're all gone and replaced with new ones. Which was probably the cheapest, effective method instead of paying it at once. You have to get the master system, though, already put in there first, though. So that had to be replaced. I don't know what to do with the original master system when they're still got the analog ones. So anyways, pitched the idea back to whoever, and with this group. I was like, okay, this is the cost, here's the clocks, you know, da-da-da. And then all of a sudden, it's like, they a couple of them changed their minds. The ones that voted in favor of it. I'm like, are you kidding me? You said they're looking at these clocks and then you want to change your minds? And I don't think that's anything to do with the cost, because like it's not like coming out of their financial pockets with the employees there. But I mean, they did approve of it after doing some convincing. I'm like, come on, like this is a serious issue with people having to rely on these clocks. I mean, yeah, there's cell phones and stuff like that, but back then, this was about 10 years ago or something like that. Like, there's a lot involved. So we had a guppy item earlier. Of course, that'd be risky too to get guppies out. We're close to the end of the run, anyways. Nice little haul here. So yeah, now the clocks are replaced. Okay, thank me for that. I'm kind of surprised like nobody came up with the idea. You think like all these clocks and stuff like that, they're off in these different parts of the building or whatever. In these small rooms and stuff. Like you'd think that would be such a concern. I guess people are just trying to rely on their cell phones, but then it's like, but then you got some people who try to take advantage of the time on there and purposely keep people overtime on these meetings, trying to pretend that these clocks work. The clock in the room is like right, and it's not. Everyone can just like figure that out. Too bad people don't call these kind of people out for that. Wasting valuable time. Often the people get late to these meetings too, other meetings. I bet the person or persons that were doing that kind of thing were pretty PO'd when I had all the clocks change on them all of a sudden. What's going on here? Yeah, your clock is having issues with time and stuff like that. I'm coming here to fix it, replace the clocks. So it'll be extremely accurate. When I say, okay, this is interesting. When I say extremely accurate, I mean like, so the analog systems, they ran on some weird setting or whatever, how they reset time and everything. These new ones, they run on the same signal as cell phone reception, so they are extremely accurate to where they reset through satellites. And the master system is extremely convenient too. I don't like this room. So I think even if you try to adjust it manually on the clock itself, these wireless clocks, I think they're wireless, or maybe they are wired, then they automatically get readjusted thanks to the master system. So even if these people who want to keep other people in these meetings longer, they can't, even if they try to mess with the clocks. Let's take the batteries out. Or replace the clocks and Or replace the clocks and put some other clock there. But it's going to be pretty obvious if they do that, and they probably get them a load of trouble if they did. Oh, I don't want that. Fix that tune, man. I mean, it's kind of weird to think about too now. It's like you think something like that would be fixed for a public building and stuff, but like, or public and private. There's a combination. And you got the entry lobbies and everything. But you think like they would have addressed that issue. They never did. Until I stepped in. Like, yeah, this is not right. Should we get risky here? Base damage. Oh, we got Leviathan. Good. So we did get some. Okay, so that was worth it. Yeah, it's just stuff like that. It's You ate all my keys. Damn. I should not be like exploring if we're close to being done with this run. Alright, well you gave me a golden key now. Oh, I just won away, huh? Left hand. I didn't realize like the shovel thing from the One Devil deal, but I don't think that would have worked. All right, check here then. Yeah, so I'm not sure what else to say about it. I mean, it was a surprise for sure. That needed to be done a long time ago too. I didn't think much of it, and then like one day I was like thinking about it. Either one day I was thinking about it. No, it's probably during the meeting. I think I was thinking about it in the meeting. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pitch this. So they put me in charge to research into it and everything else. Get in contact with a company that would sell that kind of stuff. Just go at it. I'm going to like try to skip through this room and get out of here without getting hit. Alright, well. Got a solo Lazarus, so a little backup here. I guess the moral of this is feel like there's something amiss with something like that. Nobody's addressing, go for it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the lesson here is. I mean, they probably would have fixed them eventually, but like, I think I sped up the process by getting them replaced a lot sooner. I can't imagine they'd overlook that long. We got 30 minutes, man, and we didn't get much for score, probably because people got the boss rush, and yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.